Imagine this. You walk into a room filled with people. Everyone is talking. Everyone is scrolling through their phones. Everyone is distracted. You have something important to say. Maybe it's an idea. Maybe it's a business. Maybe it's a dream. But nobody seems to notice you. A few years ago, a young salesman faced this exact problem. Every day, he would walk into meetings with people who looked bored before he even started talking. No matter how good his product was, nobody paid attention. He thought the problem was his product. Then he thought it was his appearance. Then he blamed his luck. But one day, he learned a lesson that completely changed his life. He discovered that attention isn't something people give away. It's something you earn. So instead of trying harder, he started studying human psychology. And what he found surprised him. The first thing he learned was that people notice what is different. One day, while everyone in a meeting started talking at the same time, he stayed silent. Suddenly, people looked at him. Not because he was loud, but because he was different. That's when he realized something powerful. In a world where everyone is trying to be noticed, sometimes the person who stands out is the one who does the unexpected. Then he learned another lesson. People are addicted to curiosity. Instead of immediately explaining everything, he started saying things like, "Before I show you this, let me tell you something interesting." Instantly, people leaned forward. Their brains wanted answers, because humans hate unanswered questions. That's why we watch movies until the end. That's why we click on videos that promise a secret. Curiosity creates attention, and attention creates opportunity. But his biggest breakthrough came when he stopped using facts and started using stories. Before, he would present statistics and information. People forgot them within minutes. Now he began every conversation with a story, a struggle, a mistake, a lesson. And suddenly, people listened. Because facts make people think. But stories make people feel. And people remember what they feel. As time passed, he noticed something else. The most successful people weren't necessarily the smartest. They were simply better at creating emotions. They made people feel inspired, excited, curious, hopeful. Because attention follows emotion. Think about the last video you couldn't stop watching. It probably made you feel something. That's not an accident. That's psychology. But perhaps the most surprising lesson came from an old businessman he met years later. The businessman said, "If you want people to pay attention to you, stop trying to be interesting. Become interested." At first, it didn't make sense. Then he understood. Most people want to talk. Very few people truly listen. When you make people feel heard, they naturally become interested in you. And finally, after years of studying attention, he discovered the biggest secret of all. The people who get the most attention aren't the people who desperately seek it. They're the people who provide value. They solve problems, teach lessons, share ideas, inspire action. And because they help others, attention naturally flows toward them. So if there's one thing you should remember from this story, it's this. Don't chase attention. Become someone worth paying attention to. Because in a world full of distractions, the people who create value will always stand out. And when that happens, attention is no longer something you have to fight for. It becomes something you naturally attract.